Welcome to Artificial Evidence, the podcast where the algorithm knows more than it should. I'm your host, Owen Carver. Today we're heading to the sun-drenched shores of Clearwater Beach, Florida, where a summer day turned into a nightmare. This is the story of an unexplained series of deaths, a deadly jellyfish attack, or so it seemed, and the secrets hidden beneath the waves. Let's dive in. Clearwater Beach is a place that seems almost too perfect to be real. With its powder-white sand, turquoise water, and rows of colorful umbrellas stretching as far as the eye can see. It's the kind of destination that postcards are made of. On a Saturday in late July 2021, the beach was packed with families, tourists and locals enjoying a day of swimming and sunshine. The water was unusually warm that day, hovering just above 85 degrees Fahrenheit. The lifeguards had been keeping a close eye on swimmers, as warmer temperatures often meant an increased presence of jellyfish. Still, no one expected what happened next. It started around noon. A lifeguard blew his whistle and signaled to a swimmer in distress. A young woman in her 20s was struggling to stay afloat, her arms flailing wildly. By the time rescuers reached her, she was unconscious, her skin marked with red, whip-like welts. Paramedics rushed her to the hospital, but she was pronounced dead within the hour. At first, the incident was chalked up to a severe allergic reaction to a jellyfish sting, a rare but not unheard of occurrence. But as the day went on, more swimmers began experiencing similar symptoms. By mid-afternoon, 4 more people had been pulled from the water, all exhibiting the same telltale signs: disorientation, severe welts, and cardiac arrest. 3 of them didn't survive. Panic spread across the beach. Families hurriedly packed their belongings and fled, while lifeguards and police worked to clear the water. Local news crews arrived, capturing footage of the chaos as speculation about the cause of the incidents grew. Some blamed an invasion of deadly box jellyfish, a species rarely found in Florida waters. Others whispered about toxic algae blooms or chemical spills. Marine biologists from the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission were called in to investigate. They scoured the shoreline and collected water samples, but found no evidence of box jellyfish or harmful toxins. What they did find was even more perplexing: microscopic traces of a previously unidentified jellyfish species. Nicknamed Aurelia phantomus, the phantom jelly, the creature was unlike anything researchers had seen before. Its venom was highly potent, capable of causing cardiac arrest in minutes, and yet there was no clear explanation for how or why these jellyfish had suddenly appeared in Clearwater's waters. As news of the phantom jelly spread, conspiracy theories began to take root. Some claimed the jellyfish were the result of genetic experiments gone wrong, citing a nearby marine research facility as the source. Others pointed to climate change, suggesting that rising sea temperatures had forced the species into new habitats. But then came a chilling revelation. Autopsies of the victims revealed a startling pattern: tiny puncture wounds near the base of their necks, inconsistent with jellyfish stings. The marks suggested something far more sinister: human involvement. Investigators turned their attention to the beachgoers. Surveillance footage from the day of the incident revealed a man in his 40s wearing a black wetsuit and carrying a small unmarked cooler. Witnesses reported seeing him wade into the water shortly before the first victim was pulled out. The man's identity remained unknown, but his presence raised alarming questions. Could he have released the phantom jellyfish into the water? And if so, why? The investigation took another twist when police raided an abandoned warehouse near the marina. Inside, they discovered dozens of aquariums filled with jellyfish, along with vials of extracted venom and detailed notes on its effects. The evidence pointed to a single suspect: Dr. Marcus Caldwell, a disgraced marine biologist with a history of controversial experiments. Dr. Caldwell had been fired from the Marine Research Facility 5 years earlier after colleagues accused him of conducting unauthorized genetic modifications on marine life. He had vanished soon after, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions. When authorities tracked him down in a remote cabin in the Everglades, Caldwell denied any involvement in the Clearwater Beach incident. He claimed his research was purely theoretical and that he had no intention of harming anyone. But his notes told a different story. They outlined a disturbing plan to test the resilience of human populations by introducing bioengineered jellyfish into public waterways. Caldwell believed the venom could be used as a weapon, or paradoxically, as the basis for a new class of medicines. Whether he acted alone or had accomplices remains unclear. In the end, Caldwell was charged with multiple counts of manslaughter and bioterrorism, but the story didn't end there. In the months following his arrest, reports of phantom jellyfish sightings surfaced along other parts of Florida's coast. Some were confirmed, while others were dismissed as hysteria. Marine biologists continue to study the species, hoping to understand its origins and prevent further incidents. But for many, the tragedy at Clearwater Beach serves as a grim reminder of the fragile balance between humanity and the natural world. The warm, inviting waters of Florida's beaches may never feel quite the same again. This has been another episode of Artificial Evidence. Thank you for listening, and remember, the algorithm knows.